Part 60. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 592. Haha, I feel the aura of the king. Somewhere in the void of the galaxy, a smile appeared on King Brahmalyukan's face. He looked at the starry sky in front of him, which was gradually filled with ghostly energy, as if he were looking at the most beautiful scenery in the world. The ghosts are so close, and even the Ghost King has arrived. Maybe the reincarnation should finally show some traces. He murmured and turned to look to the other side. Lord Gayavan, Lord Gashivan, and their people have constructed a magic circle. In the center of the magic circle, there is actually a golden 9th grade lotus platform. The lotus platform looked extremely sacred, with endless golden Brahma light lingering around it. The lotus platform of reincarnation will guide us to find reincarnation. Look for traces of reincarnation and get more information, so that when the real reincarnation appears, Brahma can be recognized by reincarnation. His eyes were filled with anticipation. Outside the boundaries of Daegzu, Nanfeng and a group of disciples have appeared in the starry sky. That overwhelming cold air rushed towards my face. The void was trembling faintly, and strands of dark ghostly energy were floating. Looking up, the entire 8th substar field seemed to be flooded by a black tide, and nearly half of the space was already occupied by ghosts. A black majestic ghost cloud floated from the very far starry sky at an extremely fast speed. Just looking at the black ghost cloud made people feel a great sense of oppression. Ghost King. Tian'an spoke solemnly and said, "Benefactors, we are the giants of the ghost sect." Mingzhi Gijun said, "The army under the command of the Ghost King numbers 1 million. Millions of ghost troops. Such an army would be invincible in the world if it did not come out of the divine realm." But Yongzi and Xiling became more and more excited as they listened. Beautiful eyes are shining. Great, great, Ghost King level teeth, must be of better quality. Yongzi is looking forward to it. Xiling also said happily, "This way, it will be enough for the village." The other disciples are also eager to try. "We can't let these ghosts continue to approach, we will take the initiative to meet them." The south wind is opening its mouth. Immediately, a group of people took the initiative to kill. The front is a battlefield, Tianling make room. As they were about to arrive, Nanfan opened his mouth. Tianling followed Xianning in a hurry. Hearing the words at this moment, he said, "Okay, Sister Nanfan." As she spoke, she mobilized the power of heaven, and immediately, countless star realms floating in the vast starry sky quickly left. The battlefield has been vacated. Gyun ahead has also arrived. That ghost cloud was so huge that it covered the sky and covered the sun, stretching across tens of thousands of miles. Above the ghost clouds, countless ghost armies stood tall. In comparison, the men and horses in the great ruins realm were extremely thin. Nanfan, Xiling, Longzixuan, Lurang, Duguyuking, Qing Chen, Zhongli, Wu Dade, Linjujhan, Subakian, Xining, Gongya, and Tianling are only 13 people. The Mingzhi Ghost Lord and the Tianan Ghost Army followed closely with their respective subordinates, but their total number did not exceed 3,000 ghosts. Mu Wanqing, Yun Yinchan, and others followed far behind with thousands of people in empty warships. This was arranged by Nanfan. After all, the Muling dynasty and the Yun family, mainly engaged in transportation. Therefore, 13 people face 1 million ghost troops. Mingzi and Tianan, 2 thieves, get out and die. Above the ghost cloud, a loud shout rang out. Qing Bingui Lord has appeared, his face is full of hatred. "Why are you calling you eldest father and second father?" Mingzhi Gijun stood out, very casually, he spoke with the power of his soul to avoid being exposed to the wind, and said, "Have you brought teeth to your eldest and second daddy?" Hearing this, Qingbing Gijun was furious and said angrily, Two traitors and thieves, now that the Ghost King has arrived, how dare you still run rampant? Tian'an also stepped forward and shouted coldly. You toothless idiot, you have no value at all. Get out of here, I have no time to care about you. King Bai Ghost Lord was so angry that his ghost body was shaking. He was actually so despised, treated as useless trash just because he didn't have any teeth? Unacceptable. Haha, it seems that you two have really become the lackeys of God's domain. On the ghost cloud, a ghost king walked out. His name was Chao Shi, and he was the confidant of the ghost king Yeming. However, his gaze immediately fell on the group of young men and women behind the two ghosts. That group of young men and women looked very strange. The one holding the turtle, the one carrying the broom, the one with the wooden sword on his waist, that's it? It looks like a group of people from the village. However, he was still quite dignified, especially the girl in the white skirt and the girl in the purple skirt. Who are you? Which heaven in the divine realm do you come from? Chao Si stared at Yun 11 and Zi Ling. These two are the key points. One possesses the legendary time spell, and the other possesses a certain magical pen that can even incinerate the Ghost King's skin. Tooth puller. Yun 11 opened his mouth and said curiously. Why are you alone? Isn't there a Ghost King? Where has he gone? Your teeth are definitely not as good as his, just call him out. When Chao Shi heard this, he was startled and suddenly became angry. Are you being ignored? Do you think the quality of your ghost teeth is not good enough? Still want to pull out the Ghost King's teeth? Intolerable. It seems that you are determined to fight to the death. He shouted angrily and made a big move. Suddenly, a dozen Ghost Kings walked out from above the ghost cloud behind them. You're not even a god, yet you dare to be so arrogant. No need to say more, just kill them directly. I heard that Tian'an still has a purple ghost body, so we just happened to eat him. They all drank coldly, with murderous intent on their faces. Together with Qinghai Ghost Lord, there are 17 in total. The lineup is extremely powerful. It can be said that the strong men responsible for invading the 40th to 50th star regions are all here. Gigi who doesn't behave well will die. Xiling shook her head. The Ghost King has an order, take action directly, no need to show mercy, kill. Chao Gui gave a cold shout and immediately moved. The other Ghost Kings also took action directly without hesitation. Above the ghost cloud, the endless ghost army rushed towards them at the same time. For a moment, in this starry sky, resentful ghosts howled and the void trembled, like a hell on earth. If an ordinary cultivator just saw the scene of thousands of ghosts rushing and slaying, they would probably die of liver and gallbladder splitting. This is too scary. Endless overlapping ghosts and monsters outline a mysterious and unpredictable space, pressing against the darkness of the sky and the underworld. It also enveloped Nanfan and others. Kill. The dark ghost lord rises against the sky, and his purple ghost body bursts out. Mingji Gijun rushed with him. Do it. Nanfan spoke, and in an instant, the man in the small courtyard also took action. The war begins. Mingji Ghost Lord and Tian'an Ghost Lord were immediately overwhelmed by more than a dozen Ghost Lords. The ghost body of Tianese Ghost Lord Zig is extremely powerful, and wherever the attack hits, the Ghost Lords and ghosts in front of him are almost torn apart. Do you think you are the only one with a purple ghost body? At this time, Chao Shi suddenly shouted loudly, and he actually burst out with purple ghost energy. He, actually also has the body of a Ghost King. In an instant, the two Ghost King bodies started fighting. I'll hit more than a dozen, this is not wise. The Mingzi Ghost King suddenly shouted that he was in a very dangerous situation. Don't be afraid, little dog. Zi Ling and Yun 11 have already taken action. Suddenly, 4 Ghost Kings surrounded them, focusing on them. According to the information they received, These two people were the focus, mastering time magic and terrifying magic weapons. The unruly ghost should be burned. The Huangtian brush in Xiling's hand streaked across the sky, and flames streaked across the sky. All the ghosts that came close to them were directly incinerated by the divine fire. Yongzi was even more magical. Suddenly, butterflies flew out beside her, protecting her and preventing her from falling into the ghost world. She stepped on the butterfly and walked towards a ghost king in an instant, stretching out her white hands as if she was about to pull out a tooth. The ghost king immediately panicked and disappeared from the scene. These two people are really weird. They have too many rare treasures on them. We have to work together to suppress them. He shouted. Immediately, other ghost kings also came to kill him. In addition to the two ghost kings fighting against Tianan Ghost King and Mingzi Ghost King, Xiling and Yongzi faced as many as 15 ghost kings. But at this moment, the sound of the piano has already sounded. The sound of the piano seems to be able to communicate with ghosts and gods. Countless notes are flying, and it is very sacred. It forms a divine realm and directly confronts the ghosts of a ghost king. Nanfan took action. One for each. Long Xuanhuan also shouted. There were thousands of dragon souls behind him, which were the realm of divine dragons. At this moment, they were resisting the realm of a ghost king. There's something new today, I'm going to have sex with you bunch of ghosts. Lu Rang was holding a pot of grass, and it actually fell directly into the ghost of a ghost king. Suddenly, the green light in the ghost of the ghost was like a green grassland growing wildly. The ghost king was shocked and hurriedly took action to suppress Lu Rang. One sword can cover 10 miles. Dugu Yuking used his finger as a sword and pointed with one finger. Suddenly the sword light tore a corner of a ghost. There were endless swords of rules rising and falling around him. Donor, you are already dead, why bother making trouble? Come, come, let the little monk save you. Qing Chen was surrounded by golden Brahma light all over the sky, as if there were eternal Sanskrit sounds resounding, it was so sacred and transcendent to the extreme. The ghost king opposite him looked a little dazed, and actually had the illusion of a pilgrimage. But then the ghost king became furious. Because he heard clearly that the Sanskrit sound, which was so majestic and compassionate and so strict that even ghosts wanted to worship it, was actually telling him to die. Die quickly, die quickly. Damn it, this is not a salvation, this is a curse, this monk is thinking in vain, he has no good intentions. I'll kill you. The ghost king was furious, and the endless evil wind swept towards Qing Chen. Qing Chen held a broom in his hand and swept it away. The golden storm and the ghostly storm were intertwined. The two also started fighting instantly. What's going on with this damn fat man's physical body? A ghost king was shocked because Wu Dade actually tore off a corner of the ghost with his bare hands and got in. Such a body, if possessed, it would be of great benefit to me. This ghost king was so happy that he immediately possessed Wu Dade. But as soon as he pounced on Wu Dade, the ghost king suddenly screamed. Because, the fat man actually held a few dog hairs in his hands. Those dog hairs were very prickly for the ghost body. It's not dead? It seems that the hair shed by a dead dog is not very effective, if I had known, I would have pulled it out. Wu Dade muttered, he usually collected some hair from big black dogs. Because he knew that the dog's hair was useful and could ward off evil spirits. Damn fat man, I'll kill you. Ghost Lord was angry. He was almost injured by dog hair. It was so shameful. On the other side, Xianning and Gongya were also fighting against a powerful ghost king. What? You are actually a demon cultivator. When a ghost king fought against Gongya, he was immediately shocked. Because, the woman in front of me, actually exudes a demonic aura. Moreover, it was so pure and powerful that when he raised his hand, he was actually frightened. Ghosts are very scary, but when they face demons, they are naturally restrained. Even when the demon world was at its peak, the strong men in the demon world often fed on ghosts. What's going on? Could it be said that Tianan and others have not taken refuge in the divine realm, but have taken refuge in the remnants of the demon clan? This ghost king was surprised and extremely afraid of Gong Yat. On the other side, Xian Ning stood with her hands behind her hands, looking petite and cute. The most pure and pure girl, the soul must be delicious. A ghost king came to kill him, his eyes full of greed. Xian Ning smiled slightly and said, "What a coincidence, I haven't had a ghost in many years. I'm going to eat you." At this moment, her devilish demeanor was revealed, as if she had the magic of the Great Road. Along with the devilish aura, the endless ghostly aura hid her, but was crushed and absorbed by her. Which? This ghost king is extremely surprised. Ghost Lord level ghosts are already fighting with Nanfan and others. But above the ghost cloud behind them, millions of ghost armies were swarming in like a tide. Resentful souls roar, ghosts dance wildly. It's like entering the world of ghosts. Ghost masters such as Goichi, Starving Ghost, Lenwudi, etc. were not afraid and rushed away. But they were only a few thousand people, and now they are facing millions. It can't be stopped at all. Sleepy. At this moment, Zhang Li shouted low, and the endless black and white chess lines suddenly filled the sky, passed through countless ghosts, claiming to be a world, and stopped the endless army of ghosts. No. This Othello line, he is related to the person who once fought into the dead land. At this time, a ghost king exclaimed. All the ghost kings were alarmed by the black and white chess lines that enveloped the world and came to pay attention. Because they thought of someone in common. He once fought into the land of death, and stirred up huge waves. And that person, who makes thousands of ghosts frightened, also has black and white chess lines. There are still chapters to be written. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 593. Othello lines run through the galaxy. The formation was overwhelming, and for a moment all the ghosts were enveloped by Zhang Li. At the same time, his chess formation attracted the attention of countless ghost kings. Othello, no, what does he have to do with that person? The man who dared to break into the dead land and go on a killing spree, how could his chess formation appear in the outside world? No, the chess formation of the person in front of me is similar to that of the person who once appeared in the ghost world, although it is similar, it is not the same. Countless ghost clansmen were talking about it. But they were all solemn. Kill him and never let him live. Many ghost lord level figures were frantically killing Zhang Li. Zhang Li reminded them of that terrifying figure, so Zhang Li could not be allowed to grow. Zhang Li was indifferent, and the chess formation fell down. In an instant, hundreds of thousands of ghosts were wiped out by the chess formation. Damn, junior brother Zhang Li is indeed one of the ultimate killer weapons. Lu Rang sighed. It's a pity, it's a pity. As a result, all the ghost teeth are gone. Qing Chen felt regretful. However, at this moment, the countless ghosts that had disappeared suddenly reappeared. I can't wait to die. Ghosts will never die, and dead people will never die. Countless ghosts screamed and approached sadly. Everyone was surprised. Zhang Li was shocked. A bunch of brats. If Mr. Turtle hadn't given up too much in order to seek refuge in the underworld, how could he have allowed you to run rampant? As for Zhang Li's turtle, there was some dissatisfaction in his eyes. Zhang Li was using its turtle shell as a chessboard. He was not able to kill the ghost at the moment, which made him very unhappy. It's a pity that the yin and yang soil was taken away by that tree to suppress the underworld. Without the yin and yang soil, many of my magical powers cannot be activated, otherwise, I can reincarnate and send you to hell. When it whispered, it seemed to tell a big secret. When Zhang Li heard this, he immediately looked at the turtle with some suspicion. This turtle of mine originally escaped from the earth to the underworld. For details, please refer to chapter 352, The Great Divine Power, Part 3, that reaches the sky and the earth. Please tell me to return to my heart if I have to fill in any pitfalls. However, after entering the underworld from the Yang world, all the memory of this turtle disappeared. Now it seems that since returning to the earth, plus eating too much mud in the small courtyard, Wogui has remembered a lot of things. He suddenly felt that he would torture this turtle when he went back. You must know that Dehe said that all the 10 spirits, except Dehe himself, are completely dead. But this turtle was reborn on its own, and in order to avoid something, it escaped from the earth to the underworld. He felt that there was a big problem. At this moment, countless ghosts were wiped out again. Zhongli could only put aside his inner speculations and continue to take action. Even though these ghosts cannot be completely killed, they can still be stopped. Countless ghosts were killed by him. Reappeared. Very anxious. That's what's scary about ghosts. In the rear, on a battleship, Yun Yinchan sighed and said, "The ghosts are already dead. It's very difficult to actually kill them. Either possess the most powerful divine object, such as Miss Xiling's pen, or practice the legendary Celestial Master's way and become proficient in the method of curing ghosts." At this time, Mu Wanqing was shocked, pointed forward and said, "No. Look." With everyone's attention, they saw Lin Zhuzhen glowing in one battlefield. His body is covered with charms. At this moment, he was pressing down on the Ghost King and beating him, but the Ghost King was actually wailing and running away. "Ghost, where can I escape?" Lin Zhuzhen waved his hand and sprinkled out a handful of talismans. In an instant, the talismans turned into streaks of heavenly fire, burning up all the ghosts and ghosts of the Ghost King. His talisman was drawn with pen, ink, paper, and inkstone from a small mountain village. In addition, the Celestial Master's Taoist scriptures can know ghosts. At this moment, he is eating this ghost's words to death. At the same time, he stepped on the gang step and held the Heavenly Master's seal with his hand. The yellow talisman fell down and actually formed a Tiangangbai formation. The Ghost King was immediately trapped in it. "Don't even think about it." The Ghost King was angry. He exploded crazily and wanted to break out. However, this Tiangangbai formation is full of yellow talismans, and any one of them can damage its origin. How dare ghosts run rampant? The sky and the earth are infinite, the Tao teaches the universe, it's Zhen. Lin Zhuzhen shouted loudly, and a yellow talisman suddenly fell down. The yellow talisman looked light and airy, but it made the Ghost King let out a shrill scream. It actually shrank rapidly and was wrapped by the yellow talisman. The yellow talisman seemed to be crumpled into a ball of paper, but there was a ghost wrapped in it. Lin Zhuzhen waved, and the paper ball immediately returned to his hand. Seeing this, everyone and the ghosts present were shocked. What? Ghost Lord was actually taken in by him. He is the Heavenly Master. No, the Heavenly Masters are all in the divine realm and are extremely difficult to see. Countless ghosts turned pale with shock. A Heavenly Master who can accept ghosts is their father to ghosts. Naturally restrained, no ghost can stop him. Among Senior Li's disciples, there is such a powerful Heavenly Master. Yun Yinchan was surprised and said, "Senior Li really is omniscient. The Ghost Collection Heavenly Master Lin Zhuzhen is here." At this moment, Lin Zhuzhen's confidence exploded. He turned around and killed Xiling and the others. Xiling and Yongzi resisted 4 ghosts. Even though Xiling can now activate more of the Huangtian brush's potential, it is ultimately limited. She can only reach about 300 meters away from her body. She had burned the Ghost King's skin with the Huangtian pen before. To a large extent, it was because the Qingbai Ghost King was unprepared. Nowadays, These ghost kings are extremely cautious and will never enter the range of Huang Tianbi, which makes Zi Ling very anxious. At the same time, her painting skills, she has never learned painting soul. From a certain perspective, these ghosts were already dead and she could not describe them. Fortunately, Yongzi and she supported each other. There were butterflies around Yongzi, but he took the initiative and stabilized the overall situation. Otherwise, in terms of true strength, it is almost impossible for the God Lord level to resist the God Lord level. What's more, it's still these mysterious ghost kings. Divine lords of the same level often face death but not life when faced with ghost lords. This is also one of the reasons why the God realm has penetrated the demon realm and defeated the demon realm, but has never taken action against the ghosts. At this moment, Lin Zhuchen arrived, and the spell fell from the sky. Heavenly Master! No! Stay away from him! Several ghost kings were frightened and quickly backed away. Heavenly Master, born to restrain ghosts. Although Lin Zhuchen's realm is not that of a divine master, like a wolf and a sheep, a wolf that has not yet fully grown up is enough to hunt a sheep. There is no solution to the mutual generation and mutual restraint. In an instant, another ghost king was taken away by Lin Zhuchen with a yellow talisman. Brothers, if you add the yellow talisman to your body, you can control ghosts. Lin Zhuchen took out countless talismans and sprinkled them into the starry sky. Use talismans and swords to kill ghosts. Du Guyuking stretched out his hand, took off several pieces, attached them to his sword, and slashed them out with one strike. The ghost king opposite him suddenly panicked. Damn it, I can't help but kill you. Lu Rang grabbed a large handful and stuffed it into the grass basin. Wu Dade was even more crazy. He covered his buttocks with yellow talismans, and then sat towards the ghost king like a human bomb. The ghost king looked at Wu Dade in a daze. Then, he was sat down by Wu Dade. Suddenly, the situation on the field changed drastically. Lin Zhuchen's yellow talisman is too strong against ghosts. Even the ghost king level can't stand it. The sky is filled with talismans and ghosts are suppressed. Lin Zhuchen took a step forward, bit his finger, used the blood as ink, and drew a blood talisman in the air. This blood talisman, infinitely enlarged, moved towards the millions of ghosts to suppress it. In an instant, the ghost army was wailing all over the field. Countless ghosts, who had been attacking Zhang Li ferociously just now, were now trembling, their ghosts howling pitifully, and they were frightened. The army of ghosts will be defeated by one day's division. However, right now, the black clouds behind the ghost army suddenly rolled in and turned into a big black hand, suddenly swiping from the void. The blood talisman that frightened countless ghosts was actually corroded and dissipated by the torrential ghost energy. Lin Zhuchen's heavenly master talisman was broken. And the black ghost cloud then turned into a huge ghost throne. On the throne, an extremely powerful being exuded energy that shook the entire 8th substar region. The sky trembled, and the light from the stars seemed to dim, just like the candles in the wind. It only takes the wind to pass by, and they will all be extinguished. If the existence on the throne thinks of it, the death energy and ghost energy can easily destroy the light of life in many star realms in the 8th substar region. That is a ghost king. Good night. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 594. The ghost energy surged and turned into a throne. The sky is shocked and the stars are shaking. At this moment, it seemed as if the entire universe had turned into a thin piece of paper, and it would be completely shattered as long as the being on the throne raised his hand. King. The existence of this level is the limit that the world can look up to. He who has obtained the fruits of heaven is called a king, and he who lives as long as heaven is called a king. The Ghost King and the God King are already truly strong, but compared to the Ghost King, they are like a firefly compared to the bright moon, completely different. At this moment, everyone was shocked and felt the terrifying pressure from the Ghost King. The Ghost King takes action, he is invincible in heaven and on earth. These damn people will eventually become our food. Great, with the Ghost King here, who can defeat him? The army of ghosts, all ghosts are ecstatic. They all knelt down and worshipped, their eyes full of enthusiasm. The fear of facing Lin Jujian's blood talisman just now has disappeared. Because the king is their highest belief, and the existence of this level is the name of invincibility. Damn it, Mingzi, just wait to die. Kingbo Ghost Lord smiled ferociously. He had just fought with Mingzi Ghost Lord, but was suppressed and beaten by Mingzi. He was extremely aggrieved. Now I can finally feel proud. You guys are so strong, it's surprising. Chao Si also said coldly. It's a pity that no matter what your background or origins are today, before the king, there is only one way to die. The remaining Ghost Kings all feel stable at this moment. The Ghost King, a true king-level creature. On the side of the Great Ruins realm, Yun Yinchen's face was extremely solemn. There are not many king-level existences even in the 33rd heaven. It represents a peak of spiritual practice that cannot be surpassed. A single thought of the God King can reflect the light of all the heavens, even if it is thousands of miles away, it can still reach the level of the earth. The Ghost King is the same, even more weird and terrifying. With the appearance of this Ghost King, the entire 8th substar territory seemed to have turned into a lifeless, dead place. Nanfan and others also raised their eyes at this moment and looked at the throne. On the throne, the Ghost King sat majestically, the dark ghost energy turned into a robe, and in the empty eye sockets, black mist rose and fell. His hands were casually placed on the armrests of the throne. The white bones were filled with rotten qi. There was no trace of flesh and blood, but they exuded a heart-stopping qi. The Ghost King has bones. Among the ghosts, most of the ghosts are illusory entities, like smoke and fog, elusive. But a strong person at the Ghost King level has bones to cling to. In some ghost legends, Ghost King level warriors are all transformed into Ghost Kings after the death of extremely powerful figures. Even if such a figure dies, his body and soul are immortal, and he can still become one of the sources of power for the Ghost King. Yeming Ghost King. Looking at this Ghost King, Tianan and Mingzi both had serious expressions on their faces. The words on their foreheads glowed, eliminating most of the pressure, but at this moment they still felt nervous and palpitating, and had the urge to kneel down. This is the pressure from the real Ghost King, not the ghost skin he faced before. Where did your chess skills come from? Although the level is not as good as that of the man who broke into the Dead Land in the past, the road he walked seems to be broader than him. The Ghost King had already spoken, and his loud and cold voice spread across the galaxy. His empty eye sockets stared at Zhang Li indifferently. He seemed to care about it. Zhang Li heard this and thought deeply. The name of the person you are talking about is Heibai. He was looking forward to it very much. The Black and White King who once roamed the underworld and fought against the evils of the sun. He will never forget it. Moreover, the King of Black and White and the Master had a chance to meet each other once, and they had a chance to meet each other once in a lifetime. Later, the underworld was destroyed, the Master split the road of life and death with a sword, and all the people passed through the gate of hell together, and countless creatures in the underworld were eliminated. Only a small number of people who still have karma in the human world can survive. He didn't know if Black and White survived. But at this moment, he had a hunch, what these people said was similar to his own chess skills. Maybe it's just Black and White? The madman once claimed that he wanted to reverse the yin and yang and recreate the ghosts. As for his name, we have never asked about it. Because a dead man's name is not worth asking about, nor is it worth remembering. The Ghost King spoke indifferently. Hearing this, Zhang Li was stunned for a moment. That person is dead? If it were really black and white, was he harmed by the dead land? The Ghost King was already looking at the others calmly. A few butterflies with mysterious origins. They are rare even in the divine realm. You should be the descendant of the butterfly king of the divine realm. He spoke to Yungzi, then looked at Xiling. If I guess correctly, the pen in your hand should be made from the feathers of fire phoenix, fire luan, and other divine birds. Perhaps only the ancient phoenix in the 19th heaven of God's domain, Si-linked yen, can have such a magical effect. That ancient phoenix is said to have returned to its ancestors by bloodline, and has long been the strongest among kings. I'm curious about your origins, which allows it to pluck its hair and help you. The sound of the piano reminds me of the godly Qin king who once sang a song to suppress demons. I never imagined that he would still be such a genius many years after his death in battle. In the realm of the God Lord, the realm of giant dragons evolved. Who are you, the dragon venerable in the imperial court? A piece of grass seems to have the potential to reach the heavens and the earth. If I read it correctly, it should have been transformed by a strong man after his death. I also know a few of the Brahma kings of the West Heaven Brahma court who have been stained with Brahma blood. However, the Brahma way you practice is rough and direct, unlike those who are hypocritical and compassionate. In the field of swordsmanship, you have reached the ultimate level in the realm of the God Lord. You have the status of a sword king. Looking at the world of swordsmanship, there are only 2 or 3 people who can train swordsmanship wizards like you. The physical body proves the truth. Those black divine hairs in your hands have an extraordinary origin. There is a patrol dog in front of the emperor's court. Are you related to it? He commented on Nanfeng, Qing Chen, Long Zixuan, and others one by one. When his eyes swept over Gongya and Xianning, his words became cold. The demon realm has been destroyed, and the demon species has completely disappeared, but I never expected to see it today. It seems that there is still a demon king dormant. Today, I will kill you too, otherwise when you two grow up, the land will be unrest. Even though the Ghost King at this level is still extremely afraid of the demons. After all, the ghosts were once commanded and suppressed by the demons, and the ghosts were the food of the demons. The descendants of King Qin, the descendants of the ancient Phoenix King, the wizards of the Brahma court, the descendants of the Dragon Master of the Imperial court, and even the demons. In the empty eye sockets of the Ghost King, the ghost mist fluctuated and he said, "So many powerful people and old friends have sent people here, it's really lively. Reincarnation touches people's hearts. The gods want to fight for it, the Brahma court wants it, and even the demons can't sit still." He sneered, feeling that he had completely seen through it. Behind these young people, there is nothing simple, they represent the most powerful forces in the world. These big forces have all sent people here, and I am afraid that this is the place where their ghosts are going to find this time. The place where reincarnation reappears. It's a pity that those people are so timid that they don't dare to go down to the world to fight in person. They can only let future generations come, kill you. They will probably show up, right? The Ghost King's voice was cold, and with his murderous intent, the void in front of the throne was annihilated inch by inch, turning into a black hole, spreading towards the great ruins realm. If Tianlinger hadn't moved many star realms in advance, thousands of stars would have exploded at this moment. How dare ghosts cause trouble? Lin Zhuhan took one step forward, his steps stretched, and his spells filled the sky. However, the Ghost King said coldly, "I have killed 4 of the heavenly masters of the divine realm. They are stronger than you, and there is even a quasi-king level heavenly master among them. It's a pity that they didn't hunt me, but were eaten by me. You deserve to die too." The boundless ghost energy turned into a big black hand, pressing across the stars and spreading thousands of miles, directly trying to kill all enemies. At this moment, the Ghost King really took action. The Ghost Lord Tianan and the Ghost Lord Mingzhi both had their ghost bodies trembling. Even though they were protected by the words on their heads, they couldn't help but step back. Their ghost bodies were in such chaos. No. He wants to turn the entire star field into a ghost. Tianan exclaimed. However, right now, Lin Zhuzhen took one step forward and said. You dare to do the same thing with your little skill, monster, look at the sword. He stretched out his hand and grasped the peachwood sword on his waist. Everyone can take a rest first. I have something urgent to do today. I don't know if there will be any updates later. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 595. The Ghost King's murderous intentions are revealed. He saw a big conspiracy and a big dispute in these young people. Countless giants in the divine court, masters in the Brahma court, remnants of the demon clan. They must all be coveting reincarnation. He was certain in his heart that this domain must be related to reincarnation, otherwise there would not be so many powerful forces gathered. As the king of ghosts, he will never allow others to interfere with reincarnation. Therefore, he wants to destroy these geniuses. He believes that the giants hiding behind him will not be able to sit still. When the time comes, he will kill those people too. This time, they were extremely well prepared. If those people really showed up, then the soil in his hand would come in handy. Maybe we can kill many god kings and Brahma kings. The big hand pressed across the sky, the void collapsed, and the world trembled. Countless ghosts were completely prostrate, silent, and unable to move. The ghost kings all knelt down, their faces pale. Tianan and Mingzhi Gijun, their ghost bodies trembled and could hardly bear it. This is a devastating palm that can almost destroy the entire 8th sub-star field. However, Lin Zhuzhen stepped forward. He held the mahogany sword on his waist. Facing the shocking hand of the Ghost King, he held the mahogany sword and shouted. Evil prevails over good. Peachwood sword, thrust out with one sword. Suddenly. Boom. The peachwood sword moved slightly, and a wisp of energy came out. This ray of energy was activated by Lin Zhuzhen using the Heavenly Master's method, which is the way to suppress evil. However, although there is a wisp of energy, it is like thousands of roars, better than divine boiling. Wherever the Daomu sword pointed, the hand of the Ghost King fell shockingly, and at this moment it actually disappeared like light and shadow. No. What is that? I'm about to lose my mind. At this moment, countless ghosts were frightened and trembling. They looked at the scene in the sky and were shocked to the extreme. They all felt the aura of destruction. All this comes from that sword. On the throne, the Ghost King's expression also changed drastically. He lost color and said, Is this the legendary Heavenly Master Dea's divine sword? Why is it in your hands? He was shocked. The Celestial Master Dao is the lineage that can best restrain ghosts in the divine realm, and the most powerful magical weapon of this lineage is the legendary Celestial Master Dao Ancestor Divine Sword. That sword was used by the Celestial Master Taoist Ancestor God. It was said that it was stained with the blood of evil spirits in the world. The God Master once killed the ultimate giant among ghosts and monsters. It can suppress Xuanhuan. At this moment, feeling the energy of this sword, he subconsciously thought of the Heavenly Master Dea's divine sword. Because the energy of this sword was too terrifying, he felt, it was beyond the realm of kingly power. Even a being that surpasses the Ghost King may not be able to resist it. If you are a divine king or a quasi-king level Heavenly Master, holding this sword, I will turn around and leave, but you, waste a divine thing. Yeming Ghost King shouted loudly and stood up from the throne. The night bugs are coming and destroying my ghost kingdom. As he stood up, the stars in the sky disappeared. With the Ghost King Yeming as the center, chi machines were overwhelming, and in an instant, the entire 49th universe was enveloped by his ghosts. Everyone, all the stars are in his ghostly state. Dark, dead, gloomy, it seemed like a country of silence. This is the ghost of Yeming Ghost King, Yeming. In this ghost world, he is the master. Is this the king? The ghost is actually so terrifying. Tian'an murmured, his cultivation was completely suppressed, and he felt like he had turned into a powerless leaf. As long as the Yeming Ghost King wanted to, he would die at any time. Damn, I haven't slept with the female Ghost King yet, I don't want to die. The underworld is wailing. At this moment, above the night sky, the Ghost King was already in the sky above Lin Zhujian without making a sound. He raised his hand indifferently and pressed it down. Endless darkness, resentment, death, etc. were pressing towards Lin Zhujian. He is already in full demonic state. Even if the King of Gods falls into his demonic world, he will only die. Even though he couldn't destroy the Heavenly Master Dea's divine sword, he could still destroy Lin Zhujian. At this moment, Lin Zhu was in darkness, and the whole world had disappeared from his eyes. The ghosts blinded everything, and he couldn't even sense the presence of his senior sisters and brothers. Feelings of loneliness, panic, and destruction are all over the place. He frowned because, although the peachwood sword in his hand was a divine weapon, he could not approach or find the Ghost King. Even though Tianqi Dao can restrain ghosts, the difference between their realms is too big. He was no more than a god lord, but he was facing a Ghost King who was 2 realms higher than him. The next moment, he felt that among the ghosts, there were countless resentments and dead energy, which contained extremely evil power, and wanted to inflict it on him. Like a fallen leaf in a storm. Like a small boat in the ocean. Powerlessness and despair invaded. Lin Zhujian suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground exhausted. His hair was dancing wildly, his breath was disordered, his eyes were bulging, and his whole body seemed to be convulsing. The mahogany sword in his hand was already stained red by his blood, and he took it out. No. Lin Zhujian was twisting and curling up, roaring in pain, as if being eaten by a ghost. His eyes were red, as if he were dying. Ha ha, what a pity. Among the night monsters, the Ghost King slowly appeared. He sneered, so proud. If you are allowed to grow, you will become a serious problem in the future. Unfortunately, your road is cut off today. I still have to thank you for sending me the divine sword of the Heavenly Master Dao ancestor. If you destroy this sword, the whole lineage of the Heavenly Master Dao will be over. He landed in front of the Tianqi Dao's divine sword, but he didn't dare to touch it. This sword, even if no one controlled it, still made him fearful. If he picks it up forcibly, he might get hurt. However, Yeming Ghost King gritted his teeth and said, even if my soul is half destroyed, I will bring this sword back to the land of death. This sword is of great importance. It is the fundamental thing of the entire Tianqi Dao. Its destruction is extremely important to the entire Gaixiao. He stretched out his bone claws and grabbed the peachwood sword. The Heavenly Master Dao Ancestor Divine Sword is in hand. The Ghost King of Yeming is overjoyed. But, just at this moment, he suddenly felt, the sword in his hand seemed to be boiling. Town. Lin Zhujian, who was twitching and in pain in front of him, suddenly stopped shouting. In the peachwood sword, the energy is flowing. Ah! The Ghost King suddenly let out a shrill scream, and his bone claws disappeared instantly. His bones were torn apart and turned into powder. The Ghost King's soul hurriedly rose from his bones and retreated quickly. You lied to me. You big liar. The Ghost King yelled unwillingly and resentfully. He already fully understood that he had been deceived by this little heavenly master. From the beginning to the end, the other party was acting it out for him to see. The purpose is to trick him into approaching that sword. After all, as the Ghost King, he was in his own ghost world. Even if Lin Zhuchen was holding a supreme artifact, it was in vain that he could not get close to him or find him. Just when he thought Lin Zhuchen was finished, he fell into the opponent's plan. Now, his most precious bone body has been destroyed, and his soul body has been seriously injured. His cultivation fell to the king level. Only the quasi-ghost king's strength is left. He was going crazy. He accidentally suffered such a big loss in the hands of a little heavenly master. His hundreds of thousands of years of hard work were wasted. Lin Zhuchen, on the other hand, had already stood up, grabbed the mahogany sword, and said with a smile, "It is said that ghosts can easily deceive people's hearts. Now it seems that you are not very good at it." Just now, although he was holding a mahogany sword, he was extremely passive. Can't get close to the Ghost King. Moreover, because of his insufficient cultivation, it is too difficult for him to exert the power of the peachwood sword. Even if he can break through the ghosts with the peachwood sword, it may not be able to damage the foundation of the Ghost King. Therefore, he took advantage of the Ghost King to take action, bit the tip of his tongue, and sprayed the blood of Yang on the peachwood sword, arousing the resonance of the peachwood sword. This method can allow him to communicate with Tao Magian for a brief moment. And the Ghost King was also deceived by the drama he acted. After all, it was too real. Now, he succeeded. Hearing this, the Ghost King, who had already escaped, became even more furious. He wished he could eat this celestial master alive. However, when he saw Lin Zhuchen raising his sword again, he immediately panicked. His face changed drastically, and without hesitation, he turned around and ran away. He didn't dare to try a head-on confrontation anymore, because he knew that he would die if he tried. As a Ghost King, in addition to his astonishing cultivation, the most important thing is to be decisive and run away when you need to. Escape, there is still a glimmer of hope. Lin Zhuchen had already shouted. The sword suppresses all evils. A mahogany sword, as if there are thousands of awe-inspiring righteousness falling down at this moment. The endless darkness was torn apart like a curtain of night. The ghost was cut to pieces. At this moment, the universe sees light again. Feeling the pressure of this sword, countless ghosts were trembling and lying on the ground at this moment. Even the Ghost King, who had lost his body and had his cultivation level cut off, could not withstand this energy at this moment and knelt on the ground in horror. The previous chapters were automatically posted by the draft box before I had time to read them, which caused an error and has been modified. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 596. Warm reminder, this chapter is recommended to be consumed before or after meals. Haha. Ghost King level fluctuations finally came from this star field. Somewhere in the starry sky, King Brahma cleared his mind and showed a smile. I'm really curious about what kind of power can force the Ghost King to open the ghost. It seems that the emergence of reincarnation is not far away, right? He smiled and turned away. Behind him, many Brahma lords were in charge of a large formation. In the center of the formation, a sacred and noble ninth-grade lotus platform was rising and falling. King Brahma, it should be soon. Mr. Jashvan reminded. Liao Chen calmly took out a page of gold paper. That golden paper is also extremely sacred, with thousands of Brahma lights. This is a decree written by a big figure in the Vatican. When it is placed on the lotus platform, the formation will be completely opened. At that time, the Samsara Lotus platform will be able to automatically capture the energy of all reincarnations in this star field. Liao Chen calmly placed the golden decree on the lotus platform. Suddenly, the square lotus platform seemed to be activated, and established some strange and secret connection with the entire star field. With the sword, the ghost spreads out. Lin Zhuchen was holding a mahogany sword. At this moment, there were thousands of yellow lights around him, which was extremely sacred. He had a spiritual connection with the Daomu sword and inspired part of the power of the Daomu sword to directly break through the ghosts. At this moment, the endless army of ghosts was horrified. No. My soul has dimmed. How can this be? My cultivation has fallen because of this sword. For a time, countless ghost clans were wailing and screaming. At this moment, Lin Zhujian and the power of the Daomu sword he inspired were too vast and terrifying. With just one strike of the sword, all the ghosts could no longer support it. Is this the power of the heavenly master Daozu divine sword? King Bai Ghost Lord knelt on the ground. His cultivation level had dropped directly from the realm of Ghost Lord to the realm of Ghost Lord, and even tended to continue to decline. My purple ghost body, no, it can't be like this. Chao Si Ghost Lord was lying on his knees, and he spoke in horror, because his purple ghost body was gradually dissipating. The Ghost King couldn't resist this sword, the Ghost King couldn't bear it, and countless ghosts were completely suppressed. This sword, what is the origin of this sword? The divine sword of the heavenly master and Daozu. Yun Yinshan was completely stunned, and he had countless guesses in his mind. Could it be that Senior Li is the legendary celestial master and Taoist ancestor god? Ghost King level, Senior Li doesn't even need to take action himself, he only needs to give him a sword, that's enough. Mu Wanqing was even more confused. Her understanding of Li Fan reached a new level. Beyond the king level. From this point of view, Senior Li is at least a big boss who can be compared with those in the imperial court. Even Nanfan and other people in the small courtyard had complicated expressions. Tianchi Dao is so powerful. Zhang leaves the exit. Sister Tao is really too strong. It's just a twig, so strong, no, I don't want the hair of a dead dog anymore. I want to pick up the fallen leaves of the peach tree. Wu Dade was excited. He felt that he had missed too much before. Even Qing Chen is thinking about Tao. I think I need a magic pestle or something, so it's best to make it out of peach wood. Sister Tao has a lot of them, this shouldn't be too much, right? Now. Lin Zhujian suppressed all the ghosts with one sword. He stared ahead at the Ghost King who had knelt down. The bone body was destroyed, the soul body was injured, and now he was suppressed by the Daomu sword. The Ghost King's cultivation level continued to decline, from the Ghost King to the Quasi King, and then from the Quasi King to the Ghost King. Sister Yungzi, Senior Sister Xiling, you can have your teeth extracted now. When Yun 11 and Zi Ling heard this, their eyes lit up. You, pull out all your teeth. Yungzi spoke. When the ghost army heard this, they were all angry. Don't even think about it, how dare you bully me? Chao Shigi Lord shouted angrily, but he was unwilling to accept it. However, as soon as he finished speaking, a ghost appeared in front of him and punched him in the mouth. Is it up to you? Are you qualified to refuse? Tianan spoke disdainfully. Mingzi also stepped forward and knocked out all the teeth of those ghost kings. And you? Lin Zhujian pointed his sword at the ghost king. The ghost king's face became even more ugly at this moment. He felt extremely regretful. He never expected that he would encounter the Heavenly Master's ancestral divine sword here, and he never expected that the young little Heavenly Master in front of him would be so sinister. Let yourself fall into death. At this moment, seeing Tianan and Mingzi approaching, and thinking that he, a majestic ghost king, was going to have his teeth pulled out and humiliated, he was furious. You forced me to do this. Let disaster come again and let the heavens be destroyed. Whether it's demons, gods, heavenly masters, Brahma, etc., they will all die together. You are the one who forced me to do all this. He roared angrily, and suddenly, he took out a transparent jade bottle from his arms. In the jade bottle, there was a handful of earth. The soil color is interlaced with black and white, and there are faint wisps of gray mist lingering between the soil. This is the biggest backup he brought this time. In this land, the supreme man from the land of death can destroy all enemies. Even, according to the existence in the dead land, this kind of soil has certain characteristics of reincarnation and is related to reincarnation. Therefore, every ghost king who leads the army this time has one of which is used to deal with the divine realm, and the other two can be used to find reincarnation. At this moment, he was at the end of his rope. Disaster returns. He suddenly threw the jade bottle. The jade bottle was thrown towards Lin Juchhan and others, exploding in the air, and the black and white soil was suddenly exposed in the void. In an instant, the black and white soil was filled with grey mist. It was just a wisp of grey mist, but it gave everyone an inexplicable feeling of palpitations. It seems that this wisp of grey mist can destroy the world and represents the ultimate destruction. No one can escape. Weird grey fog. Ziling, Zhuguyuking, and others were all slightly shocked. This thing is no longer unfamiliar to them. The strange grey mist contains strange spirits that can destroy everything. Even the gods and Buddhas will close their eyes, and no one can stop it. In fact, this thing is related to the previous lives of the 10 gods, and is one of the main enemies that the 10 gods and spirits can contend with. A sense of panic permeated the entire star field. So what about the Heavenly Master's way? What about the ancient Phoenix King? What about the Dragon Lord? What about the Demon King? What about the West Heaven Brahma Court? Seeing that soil appearing in the sky and feeling this weird aura, the Ghost King Yeming went crazy. Together we will die together. You are all going to die, you are all going to die, ha ha, ha 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 ha. He laughed like crazy. But, right now, I saw an extremely fast stream of light suddenly passing through the sky, arriving directly in front of the black and white soil. Then, he opened his mouth and swallowed the soil in one gulp. In an instant, all the weird auras disappeared, and the panicked galaxy suddenly returned to calm. Everyone was stunned. What happened? What is that? A turtle. That turtle swallowed the strange soil. For a moment, everyone and the ghosts were shocked. Stunned. Because, where their eyes were focused, where the black and white soil was just now, a turtle suddenly appeared. Just now, it was that turtle that swallowed up the black and white soil. Damn it, is this turtle so powerful? Lu Rang was shocked. This turtle dared to steal Sister Tao's mud in the courtyard, and now it even swallowed the weird and ominous soil. Even Zhang Li was shocked. Just now he didn't pay attention, and the turtle flew out. Too fast. No. You, what kind of ghost turtle are you? When the Yeming Ghost King saw this scene, he was frightened and almost went crazy. Damn, that is the biggest trump card brought out from the dead land, and it contains endless weirdness. Moreover, that kind of soil, according to the existence in the dead soil, is also related to reincarnation, and may lead to the emergence of reincarnation. However, such incredible soil was actually eaten by a turtle? Is this justified? But under everyone's attention, the turtle slowly stretched out its tongue and licked its lips, saying, "The taste hasn't changed much, it just has a rancid smell, but it's still okay." Hearing this, Yeming Ghost King and others were so angry that they vomited blood. Damn, is there such a thing? After swallowing this strange soil, he commented on the taste and said it had a rancid taste. But, immediately after, the turtle suddenly panicked. It's bad, damn, this mud is so bad. It stretched out its claws, as if to cover its belly, and screamed. It's over, I have a stomachache, toilet, I need the toilet. It howls. The black and white soil, after all, contained a strange grey mist, which broke out at this moment, making it upset. Oogway felt that he couldn't hold it in any longer. Its face has turned green. It is in full view of everyone. If it is pulled out now, where will the face of my generation of turtles go? However, right now. In this space. Suddenly, the Brahma light was brilliant, and a lotus platform emerged from the void. It was a ninth-grade lotus platform. It looked extremely sacred, as if it was attracted by something. A square lotus platform seems to be a place for Brahma to practice, and it is like a place where thousands of monks worship. It has a supreme aura that reaches the sky and the earth, making people unable to help but worship. This is an extremely rare treasure of the Brahma court in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. The turtle couldn't bear it any longer. When it saw the lotus platform, it subconsciously climbed onto the lotus platform. Then, phew! It pulled unscrupulously on the lotus platform. Everyone, including the ghosts, were stunned. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 597. Warm reminder, this chapter is recommended to be consumed before or after meals. A lotus platform appears, carrying the supreme sacred aura, as if it is the place where the ancestor of all Brahma is sitting. It can be imagined that this is definitely the most precious treasure in the Brahma palace and has the supreme status. Moreover, I am afraid that I was attracted by some kind of aura at this moment, and the background is definitely very big. But, it just appeared. But he was mistaken for a turtle that ate the wrong thing. Bathroom. At this moment, the turtle was spraying wildly. The spotless and sacred lotus platform was sprayed everywhere in an instant, and a small pile was piled up in the center of the lotus platform, dripping wetly. The lotus platform was trembling slightly, and at this moment, everyone seemed to be in a daze. And the turtle moaned happily at this moment. I've been constipated for hundreds of thousands of years, and I haven't had bowel movements so smoothly for a long time. The turtle muttered, and when he saw the golden paper on the lotus platform, he immediately picked it up with his paws, wiped it, threw it aside, and then climbed down from the lotus platform. However, as soon as it came down and looked at the field, it suddenly panicked. Because endless army of ghosts. Everyone in the Great Ruins realm. Even the Master Zhongli and others. At this moment, everyone is looking at themselves. At this moment, the turtle was panicked, completely panicked. Nima, I just want to die. Ah! The turtle immediately beat its chest, clenched its claws, and twitched. I don't have the shame to see people, I don't have the shame to see people. The turtle let out a wail, then shrank its head and limbs, hiding them all inside the turtle shell. Then, the turtle shell quickly flew into Zhongli's hand and crazily got into his sleeve. You, just hide, do you need to get into my creaking nest? Zhongli was speechless. Obviously, this turtle was really embarrassed to the extreme and was too embarrassed to see anyone. I really wonder if this turtle has learned from the dead dog. Damn it, has he also learned the great magical power of heaven and earth? Wu Dade looked complicated. You are not particular about it? You are really not particular about it? This is too stinky. Dugu Yuking hurriedly covered her mouth and nose, not even daring to look at it. It was too smelly. This smell filled the entire starry sky. Hundreds of thousands of years of old constipation, can it not stink? Qing Chen also held his breath completely and even closed his eyes. It was so painful. Everyone in the field who reacted couldn't help it at this moment. Yungzi, Xiling, Nanfan, Gongya, Subakian, Xining, Muwanking, etc., when the turtle pooped, Xiling used painting to change the space, taking them to the hundreds of thousands inside and outside, it was not affected. And for the rest, every one of them counts. At this moment, I feel like I'm going to vomit. Why do I still want to vomit and feel nauseous one day even though I'm a ghost? A ghost master who was relatively close to the lotus platform had his face turned green at the moment and was vomiting so hard that his ghost body was about to fall apart. "Help, kill me, I'd rather die." "Ugh." Another heavenly ghost vomited until his soul almost shattered. "If I am guilty, please punish me with the law. Why do you do this to, me? I would rather die again." "Ugh." The lotus platform happened to appear above many ghosts. At this moment, those ghosts were all vomiting. Even ghosts can't stand it. Even Kingbo Ghost King, Chaoshi Ghost King, etc. were all dizzy. The smell made them tremble. "This damn thing is more ruthless than the Daomu sword." Qingbing Gijun almost stunk. "If I had known there was such a turtle, I would have died sooner." The moist Ghost King was closest to the lotus platform. He was vomiting at this moment, and tears were falling from his eyes. The smell was not only on his head, it was also so humming hot on his eyes. As for Yeming Ghost King, he was still confused and shocked at this moment. He felt like he was out of his mind. The black and white soil from the dead land contains a strange aura of world-ending disaster. He was actually eaten by a turtle and pulled out in public. Is this justified? It's so magical, so scary, so unbelievable. He is a powerful Ghost King and has never seen anything so ridiculous and terrifying. But then, that smell also came over. Vomit. The Ghost King of Yeming couldn't hold it any longer, and he started retching too. Look at the entire scene. At this moment, the army of ghosts and ghosts were all vomiting crazily. Lin Zhuchen was waiting, covering his mouth and nose frantically, unable to hold on. But at this moment, the lotus platform in the sky seemed to be trembling, and it quickly faded away, and Xiang, who was full of the lotus platform, escaped from the scene. The lotus platform disappeared, and the smell in the starry sky faded a little. "Almost crippled me." Linju's hands were so weak that he almost couldn't hold the mahogany sword. Fortunately, the turtle didn't poop in the yard before. Fortunately, I didn't use it to water the grass. Lu Rang broke out in a cold sweat, thinking that he actually asked junior brother Zhang Li for turtle shit. He just wanted to slap himself twice. The pot of grass in his hand was also trembling, as if he was very lucky. Tisk, tisk, this turtle is really fierce. Sister Tao didn't eat the mud in vain, she also ate the weird grey mist. Surprisingly, it just made her stomach upset. At this time, Wu Dade spoke. Compared to everyone, he was the calmest one. It seems, he is more used to it. Junior brother Dade, why, you don't seem to have any influence. Zhang Li couldn't help but ask questions. Wu Dade was silent for a moment, sighed, and said sadly. It starts with that dog. Forget it, stop talking. Besides, we really can't help it. Qing Chen hurriedly stopped him, that dog would definitely not be able to do anything good. However, junior brother Dade is right. Xuanhuan is really strong. Even eating the weird grey mist will only cause stomach upset. Dugu Yuking also spoke at this time. Hearing this, everyone couldn't help but nod. Although the turtle's poop really stunk, it was really outrageous. After all, that is a strange grey mist, and it only takes one wisp of it to cause horrific disasters in the world. Even the gods and Buddhas came to save me. However, Zhang Li's turtle was able to be swallowed directly. In the end, it was okay. It is enough to show how evil the turtle is. Everyone, stop talking and collect the ghost teeth quickly. It's time to leave. I can't stay in this place. Qing Chen opened his mouth to urge. Everyone also reacted. Look at the countless ghosts ahead. Get this beast first. Lin Zhuchen pointed his sword at the Ghost King and took one step forward. No. The Ghost King trembled and felt the suppression of Daomu's sword again. Benefactor, why do you need to search? The Ghost King of Mingzi had already rushed towards him. He was so excited that he said, "Pull out the Ghost King's teeth in Zone Psyching, let me do it for you." He swung his fist and hit the Ghost King hard on the mouth. The Ghost King fell down with his mouth full of teeth. Ah! The Ghost King of Yeming screamed miserably. His eyes were full of hatred and anger, and he was about to go crazy. The Ghost King of his generation had his teeth pulled out by a Ghost King. What a shame! He was so angry that he fainted. Then, Lin Zhuchen used a yellow talisman to seal him into it and put it away. The Ghost King had taken over, and they turned to look at the other Ghost King level experts. "Don't, I'll do it myself." At this moment, Chao Shigahun was almost exhausted from vomiting. When he saw Lin Zhuchen coming, he felt as if he had met his savior. He knocked out all his teeth with one punch and cried, "Sprinkle it on me, I can't vomit anymore, spill it on me, let me die." Seeing this, Lin Zhuchen had a complicated look on his face. Damn it, this turtle shit, makes ghosts want to die if they smell it. Soon, the battlefield was cleared. After the Ghost King Yeming and the Ghost King Chaoshi were captured, the countless ghost armies became desperate and had no resistance. Guiyu packed the boxes, and Yun Yinshan and others, including the Yun family and the Muling dynasty, were busy and sweating profusely. All 10 warships were fully loaded. "These are left for you to eat." Lin Zhuchen pointed at the countless ghost army and spoke towards Mingzhi and Tianan. He temporarily accepted the ghosts of Ghost Lord and above, because he could use them to refine ghost power and improve himself. This is the path of the Heavenly Master. The rest can be given to Mingzhi and others. Lin Zhuchen does not feel guilty about this, because among ghosts, ghosts such as Mingzhi and Tianan who can stick to themselves and have good thoughts are extremely rare. If you do good, you will be rewarded with good things, such as Tianan, etc., who got some karma due to ghost teeth, which is a great blessing for them. And the countless ghosts in the viewing field have destroyed too many star fields, killed too many creatures, and everywhere they pass is filled with ghosts. In a sense, Gai Xiao can be called a sinner. If you do evil, you will be rewarded with evil. Hearing this, Mingzhi, Tianan and others were all very happy. An army of millions of ghosts, this is an extremely sumptuous meal. Wow, so many ghost teeth. That's great. Yongzi and others also returned at this moment. When they saw the ghost teeth of the 10 battleships, their faces were filled with joy. This way, the village will no longer have to worry. "Come on, let's go back to the village." They speak. No. The crystal piece is glowing. At this time, Zhang Li suddenly spoke. He took out the crystal piece given by Li Fan, and at this moment, it glowed faintly. Is this the light that comes from the appearance of the black and white soil? Is that black and white soil related to rare animals and plants? This group of disciples is an accident. And at this moment, somewhere in the starry sky. Great, great. King Brahma was so happy that he even danced. Just now, the samsara lotus flew away and disappeared. This means, the breath of reincarnation has really appeared. All their deductions came true. And the samsara lotus platform will capture relevant information about reincarnation and return, laying the foundation for the Brahma court to control reincarnation. A great victory at the start of the battle, a start to victory. This is a great joy. When word reaches the Vatican, the big shots will be happy. The lotus platform is back. At this time, Brahma Jungashi pointed at the void not far ahead. I saw that in the void, the samsara lotus platform indeed reappeared. Good night. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 598. Warm reminder, please, consume this chapter before or after meals. Brahma King Liao Chen and others were all looking forward to it. The Vatican has been laid out for many years and planned for countless years. Now, the clues of reincarnation have finally appeared. The entire Vatican is looking forward to entering reincarnation and realizing the eternity of the Vatican. The Samsara Lotus platform is finally back. The Lotus platform of Samsara, has it brought anything related to reincarnation? I'm really looking forward to it. Reincarnation is a secret that has been pursued by powerful men throughout the ages. Jia Shijia and others were extremely excited. Liao Chen's eyes gleamed with anticipation as he stared at the lotus platform that appeared in the void. As soon as the lotus platform appeared, it rushed towards them like a seizi. Lian Tai seems to be very anxious. If there is a spirit in the lotus platform, there must be a big harvest, a big harvest. Everyone became even more excited. However, as the lotus platform approached, everyone suddenly felt that something was not right. No, what does this smell like? A piece of... The extremely foul smell spread with the arrival of the lotus platform. Hyufufu. No. I feel like I can't breathe. Jiashi's breathing was a little disordered. This smell hit his nose and went up to his head. It stinks. What does this smell like? Isn't it too stinky? Jia also hurriedly covered his mouth and nose and backed away quickly. The other Brahma lords couldn't bear it anymore. Even Liao Chen held his breath in a hurry. He had just inhaled a mouthful or two of the smell, but he actually felt nauseous and wanted to vomit. Simply outrageous. The lotus platform was extremely fast and returned to the center of the formation in an instant. The smell suddenly became 100 times stronger. Ah, I can't stand it, yuck. A Brahma lord couldn't bear it anymore and vomited on the spot. The other Brahma lords were still patient at first, but when they saw this, their throats twitched and they all vomited. The smell is so overwhelming, it comes in waves, and it's all over my head. Liao Chen was also feeling dizzy. At this moment, his internal organs felt like they were all over the place. A look of horror flashed across his face, because he remembered the terrible memory from before. At that time, he, the heavenly god king and Dao Wei, all sensed and merged with the heavenly Dao insect. That time, he deeply felt, what it felt like to eat shit. Now, this smell, feels worse than that time. Damn it, he immediately panicked. Something weird might have happened again. What happened to Lotus Terrace? Many Brahma lords were vomiting wildly while looking towards the lotus platform. I saw the supreme lotus platform that was originally filled with sacred Brahma light and auspicious aura. At this moment, it was actually. It seemed like something had been sprayed all over the lotus platform, yellow and black. In the middle of the lotus platform, there is even a small pile of wet ones. Is this shit? Jiashi was a little frightened. When he said it, even he was stunned. How is this possible? This is the most precious lotus platform in the West Heaven Brahma court. It was made by countless great figures. It is related to reincarnation. It was even the training throne of a certain supreme giant. How could it be that shit was splattered everywhere? What kind of thing dares to poop on the lotus platform of reincarnation? I don't dare to think about it, I simply don't dare to think about it. Brahma is compassionate, kind, vomit, kind of compassionate, I'm crazy, this must be shit. The Brahma lord next to him suddenly lost his temper as he spoke. He started to use foul language and was so sick that he almost vomited out his stomach. The other Brahma lords also vomited even more violently, and even the formation couldn't maintain it and collapsed. The main thing is, forget about the smell just now added to see. The visual impact of this is absolutely amazing. And the lotus platform was trembling slightly at this moment, as if it was asking for help. Seeing that many Brahma lords couldn't bear it anymore, it turned into a stream of light and fell into Chen's arms. Liao Chen was immediately stunned. He looked at the lotus platform in his arms and felt his throat gushing out, spitting out 10 feet away. He turned around and vomited wildly. However, the lotus platform seemed to recognize him. He turned his head, and the lotus platform was still trembling in front of him. Ah! Liao Chen was going crazy. Is this lotus an idiot? You've already done that, and you're here to harm yourself. He just wanted to smash the lotus stand into pieces with one slap. He ran away in a hurry, wanting to stay far away from the lotus platform. However, the speed of this lotus platform was actually faster than him. Wherever he goes, this lotus platform will fight him, as if he is fighting to the death. Liao Chen vomited while running away. He vomited to the back, and all the vomited out was blood, which was bile. But, the lotus platform went crazy, and it was still in front of him. Nima. Liao Chen couldn't bear it any longer. He felt that his whole body, from the inside out, was being fumigated by the smell of the lotus platform. His eyes were red, and with a sudden move, he used the Brahma Kung Fu to block his sense of taste. At this moment, he felt, barely better. It just feels a little spicy inside my eyes. Block your sense of taste. He spoke with difficulty. The other Brahma lords vomited all kinds of disgusting things, and at this moment, they all hurriedly took action. At this moment, in the starry sky, the sound of vomiting stopped one after another. All kinds of vomit are floating in the void. The picture is very beautiful. King Brahma, what on earth is going on? Shi wiped his tears, feeling a little exhausted. Liantai, what exactly happened? Jie also spoke tremblingly. And Liao Chen also shook his head and said, I don't know. As he spoke, he couldn't help but look at the lotus platform again, only to see the lotus platform trembling slightly, as if to express something. Liao Chen's throat twitched, and he almost couldn't bear it anymore. No. Why do I feel that the operation of my Brahma technique has accelerated? At this time, suddenly a Brahma lord next to him spoke. He was surprised to find that after just a while, his Brahma technique was actually running faster. Yes, me too. My body seems to have a lot of active mysterious factors. Is it because we just breathed what the lotus platform brought back? A group of Brahma lords spoke one after another, amazed. When Liao Chen heard this, he was startled for a moment. He used his technique and found that it was indeed the case. The factors he just breathed into his body were actually very beneficial. At this moment, he didn't know what he suddenly thought of. He suddenly took a breath of air, stared at the lotus platform, and said, I understand. Could it be that what Lotus brought back isn't shit, but a kind of treasure? Is this a divine object related to reincarnation? Hearing this, many Brahma lords were also stunned, and they couldn't help but look towards the Lotus platform. You're right. The Lotus platform of reincarnation will only sense things related to reincarnation before being led away. She couldn't help but speak. The things it brought back must be related to reincarnation. With our mortal eyes, we don't recognize divine objects, but instead treat this treasure as shit. This must be a divine object. If it's not a divine object, I'll eat shit on the spot. If I take a few breaths, it will be of great benefit to us. If it's not a divine object, what is it? The other Brahma lords were also talking a lot, and some Brahma lords were even excited. No wonder, this lotus platform treasure was chasing me just now. It turned out to be because I recognized the treasure by mistake. Liao Chen also understood everything. At this moment, he looked at the things on the lotus platform. The eyes are shining brightly. And Liantai seemed to be confused when listening to everyone's discussion. Totally confused. It couldn't help but tremble. Look, the lotus platform is shaking again. We guessed it right. It is confirming our guess. Gay spoke excitedly. Liantai. At this moment, Liao Chen burst out laughing and said ecstatically. I understand, I understand everything. Things of reincarnation are rare in the world, so we just recognized the treasure with our naked eyes, but this is indeed a divine object. Although it looks really ugly, it looks a lot like that, but the miraculous effect is real and cannot be faked. Even if Luo Chen was Brahma King, he had only seen this kind of magical effect, so he was instantly sure that this was a divine object. Liao Chen approached the lotus platform. At this moment, he couldn't help but unlock the forbidden taste. The smell that hit his nose immediately hit him, making him almost vomit again. Steady, steady, this is a divine object, this is a treasure related to reincarnation. Liao Chen warned himself in his heart. He closed his eyes instantly and recited it thousands of times in his mind, changing his subconscious cognition. When he opened his eyes again, he breathed heavily. Good stuff, good stuff. It is indeed the smell of a divine thing. It is extremely fragrant. One whiff makes your whole body feel comfortable. After 2 sniffs, all the shackles are released. It is a rare divine thing. He was so impressed. Seeing this, the Brahma lords such as Kashagaya and others couldn't help it anymore. They all released the taste ban, and then hypnotized themselves in the same way. A group of people immediately looked at those things on the lotus platform, and simply worshipped them. It's such a blessing to be able to take a whiff of such a magical thing. It's so wonderful, so refreshing. This smell is like smelling the fragrance of becoming a Brahmin in the flesh. I will die without regrets if I can smell the fragrance of this divine creature. Their eyes were all shining. After hearing this, Liantai was shocked and even trembled all over. The collection of these divine objects this time can be called a great disaster. Wait for me to inform the Vatican. When Liao Chen opened his mouth, he immediately took out a jade statue. That jade statue belongs to a certain Vatican court master. The jade statue sits cross-legged and holds the lotus seal in its hand. It is very sacred. At this moment, Liao Chen whispered profound and difficult Sanskrit, and the jade statue suddenly glowed slowly. Behind that soft light, there seems to be another world, ethereal, distant, holy and sacred. Reporting to the Brahma palace, the young monk has left his dust and opened the lotus platform of reincarnation. There will be great gains. He immediately told what happened here. In that ethereal world, a loud voice suddenly came out. I also feel that my decree must have come into contact with the things of reincarnation. According to your description, if I guess correctly, then it must be the legendary Yin-Yang Earth. This land is also called the land of reincarnation in ancient records. It is said that the underworld that governs reincarnation was cast from this land. As soon as this voice came out, everyone in the venue was shocked. Jiashi looked towards the lotus platform and said in surprise. Sure enough, this decree is stained with a lot of sticky shit, a lot of divine objects. At this moment, everyone became even more excited. It turns out to be sacred soil. No wonder it looks a bit like that. It's really a sin for us to associate such divine objects with such filthy things. What a sin! Everyone spoke. This means that they really guessed it right. Even the big shots in the Vatican are aware of this mysterious thing about reincarnation. Liao Chen was also filled with excitement and said, "What should I do next, little monk?" The world in the soft light was silent for a moment, and then the loud voice continued. Yin-Yang Earth appears, this is just the beginning. You must continue to follow. It is best to collect enough yin and yang soil to build a golden statue for Brahma. If it succeeds, then this golden clay statue made of yin and yang soil will definitely be accepted by the underworld, and Brahma will also be recognized by reincarnation. Even the majestic voice contained a hint of excitement. This is a supremely wonderful method. Yin and yang soil is originally related to reincarnation, and is even the material for casting the underworld. A Brahma statue cast from yin and yang soil will definitely be recognized by the underworld after reincarnation and the appearance of the underworld and enter the underworld directly. It is equivalent to Brahma having entered reincarnation. At that time, all the divine courts and demonic realms can only watch. The Brahma court will be eternal, and the Brahma avenue will illuminate the world and unify the world. Little monk understands. When Liao Chen heard this, his heart was surging at the moment. He was extremely excited and said, "The young monk must go all out and present a unique golden statue to the Brahma." In that ethereal and sacred world, the voice gradually became distant. "You are the first to achieve the golden body. A place of honor should be reserved for you in the Brahma court." The light disappeared. And Liao Chen's blood surged up at this moment, and he was extremely pleasantly surprised. He felt full of strength and invincible fighting spirit. "Your Majesty. The honorable position above the Brahma court, that means the dominator level in the world. If it can be realized, he will truly leap over the dragon's gate. After I die in this life, I will be a yin and yang earth, working hard for the golden body of Brahma. Even if I die 9 times, I still have no regrets." He clenched his fists. "King Brahma, what should I do with these sacred soils?" At this time, Jaya asked, pointing to the divine soil on the lotus platform, with a look of eagerness in his eyes. "This small pile must be preserved in a sacred jade bottle." Liao Chen opened his mouth and immediately carefully put the pile of wet and sticky stuff into the jade bottle. "King Brahma, but these are splashing everywhere, I can't collect them." Jie stared at other parts of the lotus platform and quietly swallowed his saliva. The other Brahma lords are the same, with eager eyes. Those splatters were everywhere, and there was no way to collect them, leaving traces behind. Liao Chen thought for a moment and said, "Makes sense. It can't be collected anyway. Plus, we have improved our strength so that we can better serve the Brahma. This can't be considered stealing." He immediately waved his hand and said, "I'll try it first, you guys get in line. 2 chapters combined into one, let's go to sleep, there may be another chapter later, maybe not, I can't tell. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert." Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 599. Outside the boundaries of Degzu. Nanfeng and the others have returned. The battleship flew across the sky, filled with boxes of ghost teeth. At this moment, outside the great ruins, everyone saw an extremely magical scene. The shadow of a golden giant tree spread outside the boundary of the great ruins, and countless original principles of the world were submerged in every leaf of this giant tree. World Tree. The leaves of the world tree contain the power of the world. In an instant, it becomes more and more mysterious. It is obviously just a tree, but it makes people feel that it is a vast universe. "Is this tree the one Grandpa said about?" Tianlinger looked at the shadow of the world tree, his big eyes showing confusion, and said, "Grandpa said that when the world was created, there was a tree that carried the entire universe. Unfortunately, the era of disaster came and the war destroyed everything." She recalled what her grandfather said. "Linger, where is your grandpa now?" At this time, Nanfan suddenly asked. From Tianlinger's words before and after, she deduced that Tianlinger's grandfather must have experienced the creation era and the disaster era. Even, symbiotic with the world of the sun. If you find him, you should be able to learn a lot about past lives. But Tianlinger shook his head and said, "Linger doesn't know either. Ever since Grandpa was injured, he has disappeared. He is sleeping and recuperating, Linger misses Grandpa very much." Nanfangwen nodded, touched her head and said, "Don't worry, we will definitely find your grandfather. It seems that this world is not simple either. There are existences that can harm Xiutiandeo. The heretic ancestor netherworld that Long Xuanhuan had killed before was one of them, but he was definitely not the only one. You have to face it sooner or later. But, in this life, they are not afraid. Madan, you shrink, just as Isaac Zhu gave you the origin of yin and yang Yuzhuo, and allowed you to transform into a thick ghost king body. At this time, Mingzhi Gijun was excited when he looked at the world tree. According to the ghost lord Tianese, his purple ghost body originated from this world tree. And now, I see it. Give me something with a big stride. Mingzhi Gijun looked at the world tree with a pleading look on his face. But there seems to be no response from the world tree. Xiaoshu, leave some little fur balls for the puppies. At this time, Yun 11 opened his mouth. It's still very hard for Xiao Mao Dan and Xiao Xiao Sheng. Without them, Goiya's great cause would not be so smooth. Hearing this, the world tree immediately moved, its branches drooped lightly, and its leaves fluttered. In an instant, pure dark energy from all directions in the universe converged towards this place. Those dark energies are like flawless crystals, extremely dark. Although they are the source of the dark side of the universe, they still have an intoxicating beauty. Countless dark energies gathered directly into a vast lake. Then, the world tree bowed towards Yongzi, as if saluting. Seeing this, Mu Wanqing and others were stunned. Yun Yinchan looked at his daughter in disbelief. My daughter, is she so respectable and prestigious? That's the world tree. She can actually move with just one word, and the world tree seems to be very obedient. And a group of ghosts were also surprised at this moment. Tian, hey, can we use it as we please? You can use it to take a bath in Tokyo. It's so luxurious. A group of ghosts is so exciting. Tianan was stunned. This time, the source of darkness given by the world tree was vaster and of a higher level. Obviously, after world tree controlled all the star realms in the 49th star region, its strength became more and more terrifying. Do you want to enjoy the taste of happiness? Thank you, benefactor, thank you, benefactor. Mingzhi Gijun was so excited that he was trembling with excitement. He saluted Yun 11 and others. That is the dark source of the universe. Even if you see ghosts everywhere, you can only get some of it in the land of death, which is extremely precious. But now, one sentence can cause a vast ocean. Go quickly. Work hard. Yongzi spoke. Si. The ghost king of the underworld immediately let out a cry and jumped directly into the ocean of dark origin, swimming and devouring. His ghost body emits a dazzling light and is transforming. At the same time, the words on his forehead are glowing, suppressing his body, otherwise, he will directly explode and die. Tianan and other ghosts couldn't help it anymore, so they all entered it to temper themselves. As for Nanfan and others, they returned directly to the Great Ruins realm. The entire Muling dynasty's trucks were used, and there was a lot of traffic, transporting them into the God Burial Wasteland. God Burial Wilderness, small mountain village. It was already dusk and evening. The pig pen is finally built. The folks and elders are extremely happy at this moment. There is strength in numbers, and a pigsty has been built. The main thing is that Li Fan knows a lot about architecture, including hooking beams and rafters, laying stone foundations, he knows everything about it. Even a pigsty has its own beauty of harmony and simplicity. Under his command, the project was completed quickly. Go in, take your cub and live in it. Uncle Zhang drove the sow and the piglets into the new pig pen. After the sow and the piglets entered, they were very happy and seemed to like their new home very much. Everyone is still busy during this period, but 11 Yetu and the others went to visit Gia again. The second uncle said with a smile, looking forward to it. Master, we are back. At this moment, a call came from the entrance of the village. Yun 11 and others walked over quickly. Wow, the pigsty is ready. So fast. The south wind and so on are all accidents. but Yun Yinchan, Mu Wanking, and others who followed in looked at the pig pen, and became stunned. Then, that's a pigsty. Mu Wanking was in a daze. It was clearly a paradise. The avenues were attracted by themselves and fell into it. The ghost teeth building materials shone with a different kind of fluorescence. I'm afraid even the God King wouldn't have the chance to live in such a luxurious place. But here, it's just a pigsty. Yun Yinchan felt that, his soul was too shocked. He simply doubted that if the beings in the 33rd heaven knew about it, they would pack up their bags overnight and come to the village to work as pigs. How are you coming back so soon? Have you brought back the materials? Li Fan also smiled and spoke. Bring it back, big devil, let's go and move the goods. Yun 11 spoke, feeling excited. Folks, let's go unload the goods. The second uncle also shouted loudly. Suddenly, the villagers went to the village entrance with joy and anticipation. When he arrived at the entrance of the village, Li Fan was shocked again, because this time, there were nearly 100 cars. Are they all ghost teeth? He couldn't help but silently glance at Yun 11 and others with complicated expressions. How many ghosts are there? There are really many ghosts in this other world, and it's really miserable. You won't be reincarnated even if you die. He couldn't help but ask questions. What's so good about being a ghost? Even a tooth has to be extracted, how painful. Upon hearing this, Xian Ning and others all had a look of contemplation in their eyes. Big Brother's words, is he finally going to take action against Geixi? Endless speculations flashed through Xian Ning's heart. Reincarnation involves reincarnation. Previously, the eldest brother had taken action to successfully reincarnate Xiaomadan's confidant Bingruo. Now, he seems to be targeting Gui Xie. Zhongli even looked a little excited. Master, is this big game of chess finally going to end with Gui Xie? Master, I can't stand the ghosts anymore. Do you want the ghosts in the ghosts to be reincarnated? His blood was boiling with excitement. He immediately reported. Master Qi, we also found traces of rare plants this time. Hearing this, Li Fan was also surprised and said. Where? After many days, I finally found another clue. The golden elixir is one step closer. The details are still unclear, it should be in a place called Dead Land. We can find a few familiar ghosts to lead the way. Zhongli left the mouth, looking forward to it. He felt that, the black and white soil had some kind of connection with himself. Li Fan felt strange when he heard this. Looking for a ghost to lead the way? However, he didn't think much and said. Let's discuss this matter tomorrow. Let's start first and move all the building materials into the village. Immediately, everyone started to move in boxes of ghost teeth. And at this moment, somewhere in the star field, endless ghost energy fills the air, and this star field has completely turned into ghosts under the attack of the ghost army. Above a star realm, countless creatures are running away, their lives are being killed, and their souls are being devoured. The mother cried bitterly for her dead child, the wife lay on her husband's body, and then she died too. Unacceptable. On this star world, a middle-aged man and a girl with 6 ears were hiding. Seeing the tragic scenes, the middle-aged man clenched his fists. His eyes were filled with anger, and he said, "These ghosts are too much." The girl with 6 ears turned pale and was extremely nervous, because she saw clouds of ghosts approaching. Ao Wushuan, we may not be able to get out. Lu Kaling was a little frightened and said. Ghosts have occupied the entire star field, all living creatures will die. Since the Ding Star realm, she had taken Ao Wushuan to a secret place in the monster clan. However, they were attacked by ghosts on the way. At this moment, there is no way to escape. Facing the ghosts, her identity as the princess of the 6-eared macaque tribe in the demon world will be of no use. Those evil ghosts will destroy everything. It's over. Xuanhuan shook his head and said. No. We're not leaving. He gritted his teeth and said. I, old Ao, have been in trance and life and death for decades, and I have never met such a bully. Damn it, fight. Then, he suddenly rose into the sky and rushed towards a certain group of ghost clouds. Brothers from the ghost clan, I know where the things you are looking for are. Come to me and lead the way. The moral integrity of returning to the second watch is still maintained. Good night. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 600. Endless darkness and ghosts. Black mist rolled in, dim and dull. The supreme dead land stands above countless ghost realms. Looking from the starry sky, one can vaguely see the dark light from countless ghost clan star realms, converging in the dead land. Now, in the dead land, a loud voice suddenly sounded. Yeming was destroyed. A pair of terrifying ghost eyes, like two huge stars, opened from the deep ghost mist in the sky. God's domain? Or the Brahma Palace? A huge white skeleton sitting cross-legged, as high as a mountain, with hoarse syllables coming out of its hollow mouth. Only these two forces can destroy the Ghost King. In the deep ghost mist in the sky, the voice continued to sound, saying, it's not the divine realm, nor the Brahma Palace, but reincarnation. Reincarnation. As these two words appeared, in an instant, the endless ghost mist rolled up, like an approaching tsunami. What? Reincarnation, have you finally found it? The giant white bone ghost who was sitting cross-legged suddenly stood up, and the dead earth trembled with it. Yeming has a part of yin and yang soil. The yin and yang earth can no longer be sensed, the only possibility is to enter reincarnation. In the ghost mist in the sky, eyes as huge as stars opened, as if they wanted to see through the entire ghost world, and their eyes were shining into the divine realm hundreds of millions of miles away. Very good, reincarnation has finally appeared, we can take action. Go and seize reincarnation. The white bone giant ghost spoke excitedly. Reincarnation is what the entire ghost world and the entire dead land are pursuing. It is unwise to go to the divine realm to seize reincarnation. At this moment, there seemed to be a broken bridge appearing vaguely in the void. The broken bridge seemed to be connected to a dry river bed somewhere, but it couldn't be seen clearly. On the broken bridge, there was an old woman carrying an empty soup pot. The old woman gave out a ghostly aura and said, if we leave the land of death and go to the realm of God's domain, it will be unwise. The imperial court of the divine realm and the Brahma court of the western heaven, are all watching the reincarnation. When the time comes, I am afraid that we will fall into the trap of others and make wedding clothes for others. Hearing this, the giant eyes and the giant white bone ghost fell silent. They are all supreme beings in the dead land, but they are not invincible. The imperial court, the Brahma court, after leaving the land of death, they will also face enemies of the same realm. Especially when the supreme miracle of reincarnation appears, no one can sit still. Even some terrifying existences that have disappeared in the long river of history will pop up. Even, because of reincarnation, I am afraid that the emperor will appear. The old woman on the broken bridge spoke word by word. The emperor will appear. In the dead land, the atmosphere is extremely solemn. The word emperor is enough to suppress the entire world for thousands of years. That is always synonymous with invincibility. Mr. Zhang, in your opinion, what should I do? In the sky, the huge eyes in the ghostly mist turned to look at the old woman on the broken bridge. A strange and penetrating smile suddenly appeared on the old woman's wrinkled face. Reincarnation has disappeared for thousands of years, and now it appears. I guess that the real reincarnation may not come for a while. Moreover, I am afraid that the reincarnation itself has many defects, so I have slowly awakened recently. And the yin and yang soil, which is crucial to reincarnation, is in the land of death. Let samsara sense the yin-yang earth, let the beings in the underworld notice us, guide samsara to the land of death. This is our home ground, our burial place, and the source of our strength. Only here can we calmly deal with the imperial court and the Brahma court. She spoke. Hearing this, the existence behind the huge ghost eyes and the giant mountain-like white bones were all very unexpected. Grandma Jiang's words are not bold. Let reincarnation come to the land of death. This is not impossible. Reincarnation can appear anywhere, and now it appears in the divine realm, but if they use yin and yang soil as a guide, it may not be able to attract the attention of reincarnation. If reincarnation comes in the land of death, their confidence in controlling it will be extremely high. Yeming's share of yin and yang soil has entered reincarnation. This is enough to show that yin and yang soil can attract reincarnation. Mrs. Zhang held the empty soup pot, shook it, and said with a smile, "Inform all ghost kings to go to the star field where Yeming is, leaving behind the yin and yang soil along the way. Won't reincarnation follow the land of death?" Hearing this, the giant white bone ghost was startled for a moment and said, This is a good idea." The huge eyes in the ghost mist also flickered on and off, saying, "I will give orders to the kings now. Now. Somewhere in a star field, above a star realm. Come to me and lead the way." Xuanhuan shouted towards the ghost clouds floating in the sky. He decided to take the plunge. There is no way out, and these ghosts kill all living beings, and even their souls will be devoured after death. It's better to give it a try. At this moment, he was actually looking forward to it. Looking forward to the evil fate that he once tried so hard to escape from, will come again. Where did the ants come from? Among the ghost clouds, a ghost lord appeared and looked at Xuanhuan indifferently. Xuanhuan stepped forward bravely and said, "Master Ghost, I know where the thing you are looking for is." The ghost lord said disdainfully, "Oh? What are we looking for?" Xuanhuan was immediately confused. How could he know? He just looked at these ghosts, looking around, guessing what the ghosts were looking for. However, he then thought about it. It didn't matter what he was looking for. Anyway, taking these ghosts to the small mountain village will be a sure thing. He said directly, "Master Ghost, you believe me, no matter what you are looking for, you can find it somewhere. Listen to me, follow me, go to the 49th star territory, the 8th sub-star territory. There is a small mountain village over there, you can get whatever you want. You won't regret it if you go." He gave it all. He felt that the only person who could be scarier and more evil than ghosts was the small mountain village. I was forced to embark on the path of driving away tigers and devouring wolves. The ghost lord's eyes were cold and he said, "Are you lying to ghosts? There is still a village. Ignorant human ant, I will eat you." This ghost master didn't care at all. In his opinion, this humble human race was just talking and trying to survive. Moreover, making up lies is all nonsense. What kind of small mountain village can there be reincarnation? Even liars are not easy to deceive. He suddenly became very angry and wanted to take action. When Xuanhuan saw this, his heart went cold. Have I, Lao Ao, finally reached the end of this road? God, please let me do something evil again, please. He was about to cry. Once upon a time, he wished he could run away as far as he could. At this moment, he actually fell in love with that evil destiny. Is this a loss of morality or a distortion of human nature? However, just as the ghost master was about to take action, his expression suddenly changed and he froze for a moment. Because, at this moment, he received news from the Ghost King. The Ghost King has an order to summon all ghosts, to gather in the 49th star field. There is an important discovery over there. He was suddenly surprised and couldn't help but look at the middle-aged man in front of him. May I have your name? The Ghost Master couldn't help but ask questions. This guy, does he really know anything? Is there really something incredible in the 49th star region? Are there traces of reincarnation that the Ghost Clan is looking for? Xuanhuan was still in despair. When he heard this, he hurriedly said, Master Qi Genki, my name is Xuanhuan. The Ghost Master couldn't help but nodded, this Xuanhuan, I'd better keep it for now, it's still useful. Xuanhuan, lead the way to the 49th star territory. The Ghost Master spoke. Xuanhuan was shocked when he heard this. Real? Did you really let yourself lead the way? At this moment, he actually felt like crying, damn. Although this familiar feeling is very strange, but it is so warm and full of security at this moment. Master Ghost Master, I have a companion, please wait for me. After speaking, he waved his hand towards the back and said, Miss Lu, come out quickly, we are safe. On the ground behind, Lu Kaling was hiding, staring in the direction of Xuanhuan. He was afraid that Xuanhuan would not be able to negotiate, so he was ready to save Xuanhuan. When he saw this, he immediately walked out. What's wrong, Xuanhuan? She flew to Xuanhuan. Monster Clan. The Ghost Master glanced at Lu Kaling doubtfully, but didn't care and said, You two lead the way quickly, don't delay my march. Hearing this, Lu Kaling was also shocked. She looked at Xuanhuan in disbelief. This guy, survived again? Can he even coax ghosts? It's a bit unbelievable, this kind of dead situation can be solved. Let's go, let's take the adults on the road. Xuanhuan shouted. This time, he actually had a festive look on his face. There are still chapters to be written. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 601. The endless powerful ghosts were originally divided into hundreds of armies, responsible for attacking the first 1,000 star fields of the star field to which God's domain belongs. The first 1,000 star fields were the general range of existences in the dead land that sensed the existence of reincarnation. Hundreds of armies were commanded by more than 20 ghost kings. Nowadays, almost every ghost king is issuing royal orders, spreading throughout the entire ghost army. Countless ghost armies are heading to the 49th star field to gather. Now, outside the 49th star field, in the vast void, ghost energy lingers, and thrones made of ghost energy have been formed. There are 21 thrones, standing in the sky, emitting such shocking energy that the surrounding space can hardly bear it and is about to collapse. 21 ghost kings have arrived here and are sitting on the throne. The kings are discussing here. The leader of the ghost king actually had half a skeleton. The shriveled and rotting corpse was wrapped in layers of shrouds. The ghost king's breath was filled with green light. It is the most powerful among many ghost kings. Corpse Crow Ghost King. The Corpse Crow Ghost King sits cross-legged in the sky, half a head taller than the other ghost kings. In the rotten eyes, green light flickered, and a deep and hoarse old voice sounded. Everyone has received the order from the dead land. Reincarnation appears in the 49th star field ahead. We must use the yin and yang soil as a lure to lead the reincarnation into the land of death. This matter is of great concern. It can be said that the rise and fall of Gaixiao are all in our hands. Many ghost kings were extremely excited. They were staring at the 49 star fields in front of them, and the ghost mist was rolling in waves. Why don't you just rush over? There are so many king-level beings among us, aren't we qualified to take a chance on reincarnation? A ghost king spoke in a low voice, his words full of urgency. Mi Ling, you are too arrogant. Opposite this ghost king, another ghost king opened his mouth and shook his head. In front of reincarnation, even a king is like an ant. Even if you are a being in the dead land, you must be careful. How dare you and I be careless? On the first seat, the corpse crow ghost king also said calmly. Xuanhuan is right. The 49th star territory seems to be calm, but it has caused even the ghost king Yeming to sink into the sand. Whoever doesn't want to respect the order of the dead land can go in and give it a try. After hearing this, the ghosts fell silent immediately, and even the eager ghost king Mi Ling was speechless. Yeming is dead, and most of the other ghost kings will die as well if they try. If so, who will send the first portion of yin-yang soil? A ghost king asked. Since star region 49 is so dangerous, no one is willing to take risks. It's just a gift of Earth. Low-level ghosts can do it. Why do we need a ghost king? There was also a ghost king who spoke. Regarding this matter, the Burial Xian ghost king suddenly said. It just so happens that I have a ghost master under my command. He just sent the news and reported that he had captured 2 people. Those 2 people are very familiar with the 49th star territory. Even before the Deathland order was issued, those 2 people had already suggested that we, the ghost tribe, come to the 49th star territory. The corpse Black Ghost Dynasty's burial ghost king took a look and said. Pass. Not long after, a ghost lord suddenly appeared with 2 people. Surprisingly, they are Ao Wushuan and Lu Kaling. When Ao Wushuan saw the battle in front of him, his legs suddenly became weak. It's so terrifying, the energy of this ghost is so powerful that it makes people tremble. They are all ghost kings. Lu Kaling also turned pale. She knew very well what existence at this level represented. What can affect so many king-level beings? Gai Xiao's plot this time is probably unimaginable. For your information, Lord Ghost King, this person's name is Ao Wushuan. He is the one who advised his subordinates to go to the 49th star territory before. He said that what we are looking for is within it. The Ghost Master spoke. Hearing this, the eyes of many Ghost Kings fell on Ao Wushuan. Suddenly, Ao Wushuan's heart trembled and he was about to kneel down. He couldn't bear it anymore. Now he was just a small true god. In front of a king-level existence, he was not even as good as an ant. However, just as he was about to kneel down, an inexplicable force appeared on his body, making him unable to kneel down. There are some causes and effects that I can't see clearly. I'd better not accept your kneeling. At this time, the corpse crow ghost king spoke. Hearing this, many ghost kings were a little surprised. Who is this Ao Wushuan, who actually makes the corpse crow ghost king fear karma? None of the other ghost kings saw anything extraordinary. At most, there was a giant dragon lurking between this guy's legs, with unlimited power. How do you know that this 49th star field is related to reincarnation? The Xuanhuan dynasty asked Ao Wushuan. Ao Wushuan was confused. Reincarnation? What the hell? So, are these ghosts looking for reincarnation? He has absolutely no idea. No. I have to talk nonsense even if I bite the bullet. Because I have seen the messenger of reincarnation. Ao Wushuan tried his best. He first made up a lie and said. My lords, there are several messengers of reincarnation in this domain. As soon as these words came out, all the ghost kings in the hall were shocked. The messenger of reincarnation. Really? Is there such a thing in the world? They were extremely solemn. Who is that? The corpse crow ghost king then asked. Ao Wushuan shook his head and said, Master Chi Ghost King, I don't know the details, but those people are very weird. There are fat people and dogs, there are people who play the piano and draw, there are people who play swords and plant grass. I'll definitely recognize it if I see it. The corpse crow ghost king pondered for a moment and said. Okay, I believe you. He turned to look at the Zhanxian Ghost King and said, let your people, with the yin and yang soil, follow Ao Wushuan first to see if they can find the so-called messenger of reincarnation and lure them out. Upon hearing this, the ghost-burying king nodded immediately and took out a ghost jade bottle. In the jade bottle, there is some black and white soil. Yuxu, take this jade bottle with you and follow Ao Wushuan to the 49th star territory. Give it away. He looked at the ghost master who brought Ao Wushuan here, first blood. The vampire ghost master heard this and immediately said respectfully, first blood obeys the order, go and deliver it now. He immediately took the jade bottle and said, Ao Wushuan, lead the way. Ao Wushuan gritted his teeth and said, first vampire ghost master, follow me. He and Lucaling left immediately with first blood. After they left, Ziwo Ghost King, is there anything wrong with Ao Wushuan? A Ghost King asked directly. The attitude of the Corpse Crow Ghost King obviously puzzled all the Ghost Kings. The Corpse Crow Ghost King sighed deeply and said, we can't talk about the problem. It's just that I'm lucky and have an instinct that I don't want to offend him, so, try not to offend him. Hearing this, many Ghost Kings felt even more confused. However, they did not continue to ask. Now, waiting is the most important thing. One more chapter.